All right, so now it is time to play.
Opening arguments on Master Debaters.
It is time for opening arguments. I'll give each combatant a question. That combatant answers the questions, and our judge, Alex, will give them a score between 0 and 10 points. They will have 30 seconds for their argument, and a buzzer will let them know when that time is up. Any questions from you all? Before
I guess not.
All right,
I'm good. I'm ready.
Let's get going. All right, our first question. Fiat Chrysler's Jeep brand is going electric. The company has unveiled a plug-in Wrangler SUV. The first of what it says will be many Jeeps in the U.S. powered. The Wrangler 4xe can go 25 miles on battery power before a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine takes over. Would you buy this, Bristol?
No, I would not. And I'm assuming you need a reason.
We have 30 seconds, so it's probably...
Oh, wow. Well, I can do 30 seconds with my eyes closed. I live in an energy state, and we do everything we can. And honestly, 25 miles before it switches to gas, do better.
All right, 30 seconds are up. Alex, what do you think?
I do agree with Bristol on, more than 25 miles before hitting the battery. But it didn't seem, I wasn't very much persuaded, so I'm going to give her a 5.
All right, next question. Every year, long shots make their mark in training camp and make the 53-man roster to being selected late in the NFL draft or not at all. This year, it's going to be harder for those prospects. Many pro days are canceled, as are rookie mini camps. Draft. The entire offseason was conducted remotely, and when teams did return for football, they had reduced rosters or no preseason games at all. So, the NFL season starts next week. Are you excited for it?
You know what? I am. I don't know if this is going to help my Cowboys fan. And, Cowboys and football in Texas is a big deal. But also, with everything going on right now, I think sports are a good distraction. Not that distractions are a good thing necessarily, but I think it's good for everybody to kind of come together. And even if you disagree on topics, for everyone to come together and unite over one thing and maybe that's it. I ran out of time.
Alex, how many points for Sam?
I would say I could tell that he's definitely a Cowboys fan. I could hear the passion in his voice. I would say I'll give him a 7.
All right. Next question. Making a love connection could have something to do with your choice of digital device.
It turns out iPhone users may be luckier in love. A study from Compare My Mobile found that singles who own Apple products were up to 76% more likely to land a match on a dating app. Android came worst phone for online dating. Sorry, BlackBerry. Using a BlackBerry actually negatively impacted a person's chances of love percent.
That's CBSMoneyWatch.com's Naomi Ruchim. Would you judge a potential or current love interest based on what phone they use, Alexandra?
Oh, absolutely. And I think you're well within your rights to do so. But I think the study got it wrong. I think iPhones contain the thing that is the bane of all text communication, which is those 3 dots that appear when you're trying to compose a message. Sometimes you just brush it by mistake, and the other person can see those ominous dots, and you think, what's going to come out of here? It's a nightmare. Whereas Androids, you just get a text whenever it's ready. There's no ominous dot. And I think the ominous dot is the bane of all relationships, but the BlackBerry more so.
All right, Judge Alex, how do you give Alexandra?
Well, I could see where she's going. I have an 3 dots very well. I'm gonna say 8.
All right. Well,
Well done.
Generous. Thank you.
Coming up, do people like the way you talk? We'll debate that and more next on Master Debaters from KTSA.
This is Master Debaters, the show where the best argument wins.
It is, and now things will start heating up. We have Kiss Country 93.7 in Shreveport, Sam I Am from 102.7 Jack FM in San Antonio, and Washington Post columnist Alexandra Petri this week competing to convince Judge Alex that their argument is the best argument. You too can be a judge on future episodes of Master Debaters. Head over to our website, ktsa.com/masterdebaters, and enter our next adjudicator. Let's keep this debate going.
For argument's sake, on Master Debaters.
This is where things start to get interesting. All three contestants the same question, and they will each take a turn presenting their argument on it. And after they take their 30 seconds to respond, our judge will then give each points for their responses. First question: Facebook is taking more steps to encourage voting, minimize misinformation, and reduce the likelihood of post-election civil unrest. Now it's going to be restricting new political ads in the week before the election, and will remove posts that convey misinformation about COVID-19. How do you feel about Facebook's actions? We're going to start with Bristol.
Absolutely love it because, I hate to say it, so many people take the information that they see on these social media platforms as being the gospel. And as we know, this is one of the biggest ways, especially in 2020, for misinformation to be spread. And some of it is downright salacious, especially when we have two opposing parties who are throwing a lot of mud. So with that being said, I would love to see Facebook actually extend its removal of some of those political ads further than a month in front.
Alexandra, you're next.
All right. Yes, I think it's a good move to get rid of. I wish, honestly, Facebook would get rid of more of itself. I think most of everything that's on Facebook is bad. It's information or people that I wish I weren't still in touch with, telling me facts about their lives or showing pictures of their babies that are generally subpar. No offense to the babies, but some offense to the babies. And I think Facebook shouldn't just stop accepting political ads. It should stop accepting ads of all kinds and stop selling people my data, because it's free. You're not the user, you're the product.
Sam, your turn.
Yeah, political ads bother me on Facebook, but then you see fact checkers, and then I question the fact checkers. Are they biased or not? I don't know. I think there's a lot of misinformation, and I just wish we kind of get back to the way they were before. And yeah, I agree. Selling the data really bothers me a lot, so I'm not a big fan of political ads on. I don't really think they do much good, honestly. I don't think they sway anybody or change any minds. They just create arguments.
Alex, what score do you want to give Bristol? What do you think about her argument?
Bristol's argument was good. I would say, I'd say 6.
All right, what about Alexandra?
Alexandra really hit a point with me, especially when she said that of all the baby pictures, because I get those baby pictures all the time. And honestly, it just reminds me that I don't have a child and I would like one at some point. So I'm going to give her 9.
And what about Sam?
Down with babies.
Sam was good. I was, everyone seemed to have the same argument of they were for the getting rid of ads. I would say that you kind of came in the middle, probably about a 7.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
All right, next question. So, what do you think about accents?
Users of Big 7 Travel, that's an online travel guide company, voted in an annual poll looking into which is the sexiest. Now, America is a land of many local inflections, from Maine's Yankee dialect.
This is Mac, the old Mina. Jeepers, ain't it cold out today?
California's surfer slang.
Welcome to California.
But the survey finds the Texas drawl toughest to resist.
Hey, how y'all doing?
The Texas accent was for the second straight year. The accents of New York, Boston, Alabama, and Chicago complete the top 5. The least sexy accents, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Island, and New Jersey.
My mother would have loved it if you and I got together.
Don Morgan, KTSA News.
So, do you agree that the Texas accent is the sexiest accent? We're going to start with Alex.
Sure. Well, I feel like I'm at a disadvantage here, but it does seem as though there's good science behind this. And who am I to condemn good science? I agree that the ones they highlighted as bad accents are often sound like rubbing a cheese grater on your ear. And so I agree with that. I feel like Amy should have done better, if only for Murder, She Wrote, because all the people saying Mrs. Fletcher in that charming tone deserve to be regarded as romantic as they are. And also, Texas is a beautiful place, and the people there are great. But so is Long Island, right? Yeah.
Sam, your turn.
Pandering.
I'm very biased on this one. I mean, being from Texas, I mean, my friends tell me I have an Texas accent. I don't hear it. My relatives all have a Texas accent, but I don't know. I would think that I would have to agree with it because look, country music's pretty popular, and I mean, there's a lot of like Southern draws, and not to say they're all from Texas, but I mean, I guess that Southern accent's doing something for somebody, and sure, why not? That's all I got.
Bristol, you're next.
Oh, well, I can tell you from firsthand experience, living just 30 miles from the Texas border, that the sound of a man with a Texan accent is absolutely sexy. Are you kidding me? But with that being said, I do know our fabulous judge is from Long Island, and I am partial to that. Did you know that the New Orleans accent can be mistaken for the Long Island accent? Interesting thought.
So before I go to Alex, are you saying that the New Orleans accent is not sexy because it's like the...
Oh, no, I'm saying it is very much.
Okay. Alex, your assessment on Alexandra first.
Well, it's very interesting. All three judges basically agreed on the fact that the Texas accent is sexy. The strength of the argument, I noticed that they all tried to, I think with the exception of Sam, they tried to butter me up a little and tried to, downplay the unsexiness of the Long Island accent. I hear it all the time. Sexy. Believe me, it is rightfully where it belongs. I would have to say that Alexandra's argument was persuasive. I would say I would give her an 8, just on the fact that she was right about the sexiness of the Texas accent.
For Sam?
Sam made a good point about country music. I don't know if Sam knows this, but if you play a country record backwards, you get your wife back, your dog back, and your truck back.
Right.
So a score for him?
Yeah, but country music is very popular. I'll give him a score of 7.
All right, and Bristol?
Bristol had an interesting point, although I'm thinking back to New Orleans many times, and I'm trying to think of any time where I've thought that the accent was similar to the Long accent. And Dennis, I'm not feeling it. I'm not seeing it.
Okay.
But she did have a fair argument. I'm going to give her a 7.
All right. Okay. And our next question, an international panel of medical experts say it is soon to try making genetically edited babies. Why? Well, it's because the science isn't advanced enough to ensure it can be done safely. The panel also mapped a pathway for any country that want to consider it and says it should be limited to serious diseases caused by a single gene. What do you think about genetically edited babies, Sam?
Sounds interesting. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't like it, but I think it's happening, and people may think it's not, but there's definitely countries that are trying it, I think. But no, I'm not a big fan of that. That's just a little too scary and rolling the dice on some innocent person's life. I don't like that. That's kind of weird. Not till technology gets way more. I mean, I don't know.
Bristol.
Oh, I've got to tell you, I have got so many issues with this, ethical issues for cultural as well as religious reasons. Being a Christian, I really believe in God's plan. And, when you get to the point where you're trying to make those decisions for them on what should be and what should not be, you're really stepping into dangerous territory and a slippery slope.
I agree.
There we go. And Alexandra, what do you think about that?
Well, I think it's funny how much baby content has come up. First, I'm consistent with my stance of opposition to babies in general. I think I'm going to go ahead and oppose opposition and maintain that opposition to genetic modification. Although I would say the X-Men did seem very crucial when it came to defending Earth. I know they had some genetic modification going on, and only they were able to prevent lots of bad from happening. And Professor Xavier turned into a wonderful school. I just think maybe that's sort of a place they can go and learn to control the winds. We could consider.
All right, Alex, our judge. Let's start with Sam. What score do you want to give Sam?
Sam seems shaken by the question. It seemed that he really wasn't sure where this was going to go. I would have to say for Sam, I would give him I'd give him a 5.
All right, what about Bristol?
Bristol seemed to have some very strong views on the subject. I'm going to say a 7.
And Alexandra?
Alexandra brought up X-Men. That I'll give a point on that. I would also give her a 7.
All right, next question. The British are pleading to not boil lobsters alive.
The British Veterinary Association says all decapods, a class that includes crabs, lobsters, and shrimp, should be stunned before they're killed because scientific studies show they do feel pain when they're boiled alive. Just how one stuns a shrimp isn't clear.
That's CBS's Victor in London. Does this change the way you cook or consume seafood like lobsters, crabs, or shrimp? Bristol?
Well, I've got to be honest. I work in radio and I can't afford lobster, so this really isn't a big issue for me. Now, if it were crawfish, it'd be a whole different story. You always see that one mud bug trying to run away to get away from the pot. You know what I'm saying? I think they know they're fixing to be boiled alive. However, taste that darn good.
Alexandra?
I think I'm just generally against lobster, frankly. I don't think it is too expensive. B, they put it in mac and cheese and ruin a perfectly good mac and cheese just so they can charge you an extra $20 for mac and cheese that's now been ruined by weird sea cockroach meat. But also, I don't know why we're surprised that like boiling something to death is a painful way. I feel like that's something we should maybe have occurred to us earlier. And finally, I've just been watching Hannibal, so I don't know where this is going, but people or lobsters?
All right, Sam, what do you think?
I am a fan of the cockroach of the sea. I think they're delicious, but I also think that there's a humane way to go about killing them, and it's a YouTube click away. In fact, I've seen Chef Gordon Ramsay do this, and he shows you the proper way to kill them, is boiling them. And I am all for it. But the problem, the question is with like crawfish, when you have thousands of crawfish, what do? Can you do that with all of them? No. So like, it's third line. But I am for a more humane way as to kill a lobster.
All right, Alex, Bristol for a score.
I would say Bristol made a good argument. I would give her a 7.
All right, Alex.
Alexandra lost me when she said that lobster mac and cheese was not a good thing. That is a delicious thing. So I'm going to have to give her a 6.
All right. And for Sam?
Sam made a good point about finding more ways to deal with our food. I'm going to give him a 9.
All right, next question. Texas Governor Greg Abbott wants a teacher fired over an assignment likening police to the KKK.
The social studies assignment given to 8th graders in the Wiley School District included a cartoon collage showing slave owners, a Klansman, and police all kneeling on the neck of a black man with the words, "I can't breathe." Kristen Centers, the parent of an 8th grader, talked to Fox 4 Dallas.
This picture is depicting years of oppression, and it is showing why we protest.
But after a backlash on social media, the Wiley District has apologized and removed the assignment. Governor Abbott wants the teacher fired. Elizabeth Ruiz, KTSA News.
So should a teacher be fired for a controversial assignment, whether it's this one or others like it? Let's start with Alexandra.
Oh, I mean, I feel like before we even get into the business of firing teachers, I'm amazed the teachers are back in school in the first place, and I'm glad that I hope that it's safe enough for them to be there. I think everyone should be where it's safe and give their assignments from a distinct location. But I think it seems like it might be a subject for discussion, and I'm not sure that this is the right call.
Sam, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think there's a point where the teacher drew up this discussion and knew that this might be controversial, and went ahead and just in front of the class and laid it out there, which I think it's more common sense. She should have gone through the administration and said, "Hey, I would like to this. What are your thoughts? And do you think I should do this or not? Or if there's a better way to do this so we can avoid conflict and trouble and then and protesting and this and that and me losing my job." So I think it's common sense, and she should have gone to the administration first.
All right, and Bristol, what do you think?
Well, I will tell you this. I feel as if the imagery that is contained in that drawing would be too mature for an 8th grader to truly grasp and understand. I mean, there's adults who don't even understand why we have people that are protesting. But, with all that being said, I'm not sure how this was introduced into the classroom to begin with. I didn't believe that teachers got to control their curriculum anymore. I mean, aren't we all national guidelines?
All right, Alex, what do you want to give Alexandra for a score?
I think she had some this one. I'm going to give her a 4.
Okay, what about Sam?
Sam's a little, I'm going to say 6.
All right, and what about Bristol's argument?
Bristol's argument, especially at the end, made sense. I did not know. I figured that teachers were, had their own, were told what they had to give anyway. I'm going to give her a 8.
All right. If one of Tokyo's newest attractions is functioning properly, you won't be able to see it, or at least inside it.
It may take a leap of faith to avail of Tokyo's newest facilities. The walls of the city's newly installed public toilets are transparent before people enter. But enter and lock the door from inside and they'll turn opaque. The architect says he wanted to challenge the stereotypes of dirty and dangerous public toilets. And for those worried about what could be a catastrophic, designers say if power is cut, the walls default to the opaque mode. Dave Packer, ABC News.
So, Sam, would you use one of these?
Yeah, why not? That sounds like fun. I think, you go somewhere on vacation, you want to experience new things. You won't know until you try it, right? So why not a weird toilet? See, there's weird toilets all around the world, and why not? And Japan has fun things. They're always real interesting and cutting edge. So, maybe they're setting a new trend. Let's do it.
Bristol, would you use one of these transparent toilets?
They say when in Rome. So if that's what's available and I really got to go, I probably am. However, I would say that I consider my time on the throne as private time. I wouldn't even really like to consider the fact I could see in if the technology went bad. I mean, they say the walls default to opaque, but do we really know that? Because technology only as good as the creator.
And Alexandra, would you use one of these transparent toilets?
I would use it, but I agree that I think it's really ripe for an Emperor's New Clothes situation where you're in there and they say, of course, it's no longer transparent. But I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. I also feel like the things that I'm carrying when I go into the bathroom are just as embarrassing as any sight of me in the bathroom would be. It's like, why is she carrying a book that size? What's going to be transacted in there, And I feel like that information is information they already possess. So maybe there's no further depth to descend to. Plus, the potential of bathroom tourism has not been exploited sufficiently, and I think it's good.
All right. Alex, what score do you want to give Sam?
I would give Sam, well, all three said that they would use it. So I'm going to say to Sam, I would give him a 7.
Okay. What about Bristol?
Bristol, a little bit more persuasive, I would.
And Alexandra's argument, what do you think of that?
I don't know what kind of bag she's bringing in there, but I'll say an 8 as well.
Okay. All right. Well, coming up, our debaters they've been waiting all week to tell the world what's been on there. Let's hear what it is and what the competitors think about it next on Master Debaters from KTSA.
This is Master Debaters from KTSA and FM 107.1.
I'm Dennis Foley. Joining us this week is Bristol from Kiss Country 93.7 in Shreveport, Sam I Am 2.7 Jack FM in San Antonio, and Washington Post columnist Alexandra Petri, who are all working to coerce our judge Alex to give them more points fellow competitors. So let's keep this debate going.
State your case on Master Debaters.
So our competitors, before the topic they wanted to talk about, in case they wanted to present to a judge, they will get 90 seconds to do so. During those 90 seconds, if other combatants wish to challenge their argument, they will get 45 seconds each after the case is done being presented. After the challenges, the original presenter will get 45 seconds to address all of those challengers and what they had to say. If they change the topic from what they had originally sent in, they will get an automatic 5-point penalty. There's also more points at stake. Our judge can now give up to 20 points at stake, or can take away 20 points from everyone, whether they challenge or even if they stay quiet. Right now, our points leader is Bristol, so you get to go first.
All right. My topic today is why distance learning will eventually fail our children. That I'm distinguishing between homeschooling as well as distance learning that we are experiencing on a large scale right now due to COVID. And well, I will tell you is why, the 5 main reasons why distance learning is not what we need, and that it will our youth education, causing them to suffer intellectually, developmentally, and socially. The number one reason is parents aren't teachers. Parents are working very hard, working and trying to get 50 million things in during the day. Unless, they're very blessed to already have an education degree, make some big significant changes to be able to not only teach the course material, but to create the structure that children thrive in. I read today that 21 parents have had to actually change their work hours to accommodate their children's education throughout the pandemic. Second of all, styles have changed, especially with regard to Common Core math. It's not that parents can't do the math, they just weren't taught the same way. And obviously teach a gift. If not, anybody would do it. They wouldn't require a degree in education or all the extra in-person training. Second is the broadband internet connectivity. The lack of devices is third. Lack of social development is 4. Our children need to be able to relate with others. Lastly, everybody learns differently.
All right, time's up. And we didn't have any challengers that round. So, Alex, what score do you want to all of our contestants?
While I may have my own disagreements with it, I do find it was persuasive. I give up to 20 points, correct?
Yep, you can give up to 20 points. You could also take away as many as 20 points.
I will give 15 points.
To Bristol?
To Bristol.
Okay, and then for the other two contestants not challenged, do you want to give any points, take away any points, or are you just going to leave them even?
I'll leave them even.
Okay. Next up, Alex, it's your turn to present your case.
Well, I'd like to talk to you, if I could, just for a moment, about soup. The president and I don't agree on much, but recently he said that bags of soup, people with soup, soup was a threat and that it wasn't, quote, just soup. And I agree with him on this. I think soup is a dangerous substance, from alphabet soup, which is full of hostile messages, clam chowder, which is just a frightening substance, full stop. There's a soup that exists named kakaliki. I'm not making any jokes about it. I want to know that it exists. Some soup is quite hot, which is dangerous. And sometimes if a man who loves you shows up to your honeymoon with 100 cans of soup, it turns out that the man is Ted Cruz. So these are all factors about soup that I think indicate that it's more of a menace to society than a boon to society. And not to stir up too much trouble, but I wonder if really what America needs is more coming, more Boolean errors. And, I think we should say to ourselves, Bisque, please, let's cool it here with this content. This is not a superpower for this reason. It's just a regular power. And inclusion, put that back where it belongs, get it out of our way. No, we can't. Not yes, we can.
Bristol, 5-second challenge.
Yes, I got to tell you, even though I agree with the fact that, the president has some very, very awkward sound bites, I have to tell you, I don't believe that soup is a weapon at all, especially when you picture these pictures of Campbell soup. I learned how to read the Campbell soup can, and it's the tradition. It's the nostalgia, and let's face it, it's the nutrition. Soup is able to inexpensively provide nutrition to people who are nutritionally deficited. And let's go ahead and face it, most soup cans have safe when it comes to not having to change their logos.
All right, no other. So, Alexandra,
I'll challenge.
Well, you need to let me know. So
well, I'm challenging.
All right, hold on.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Sam.
Hey, look, Olive Garden didn't get to where they're at because of their pasta. No. It's breadsticks and soup. That's why people go to Olive Garden. That's why Olive Garden is the mega chain that they are, and that's why they're so beloved, and that's why they'll stand the test of time. Like soup is here to stay, and it keeps you warm, fills your belly, and there's health benefits. And like clam chowder, yeah, it can be risky, but what's wrong with living life on the edge? It's a little dangerous. You never know what you're going to get. So I think soup is living, and we need more soup. And if you don't like it, no soup for you. Had to do it.
All right, and Alexandra, you get 45 seconds to rebut everyone.
Oh, boy. Well, you're certainly making some valid points about soup. Although, Sam, you made, in the course of your argument, an even more controversial argument, which is, quote, Olive Garden is beloved and will stand the test of time. But leaving that to the side, I think you're absolutely right, Bristol. Soup is a valid reading material, but I think it's deeply suspicious. It's a liquid disguised as a solid. What's it doing? Why is it wearing some sort of a metal jacket? I think we haven't gotten to the bottom of soup, and I don't want to get to the bottom of the soup. You can have the soup. Take it. And eating the breadsticks at Olive Garden as they intended. The founders intended that.
All right.
James Madison.
All right, Alex, where do you want to start?
Oh, there's so much to digest here.
No pun intended.
Pun intended.
Oh, okay.
Let's. Okay. I'm going to start, Alexandra. I think, who doesn't like soup? I found that whole bit to be very difficult to swallow. Everybody seems to like it. It's universal. There are so many varieties of it, and yet you have found a way to really not only agree with with a person who might be considered mentally unhinged, but to be considered, dealing. I'm just going to say, I'm taking away 3 points.
-3 for Alexandra.
I'm taking away 3 points.
And what about Sam and Bristol?
Sam and Bristol did come to some defense of soup. Sam, it's very hard for me to defend Olive Garden. I will say that they are somehow made it through 2 recessions and a pandemic, so there's got to be something right going on there. I'm going to give you an additional 5 points. Bristol, I'm going to keep Bristol where she is.
All right. So flat there. All right. And now, Sam, you get 90 seconds for your
Wow,
topic.
that didn't go super for me.
No.
No. Oh, no. Is he gone?
Sam.
Oh, no.
Maybe he's just really thinking it out.
Yeah.
He's parsing it out. That's right.
All right, Sam. Time's ticking.
Well, if I may add, there's nothing like sexier than the thought of sipping soup with Ted Cruz at an Olive Garden, honestly.
No, that's a consummation devoutly dished.
Do you think it makes more noise now that he's got a beard? Like sipping soup with Ted Cruz? Is he on it for soup or something? I didn't know this.
Big soup guy. I'm not even joking. It's a true story that, like, on his honeymoon, he brought 100 cans of soup. And they told us it's a fun, humanizing tale on CNN. Like, yeah, he showed up with all this soup, and she was like, I don't know what to do with this. And then she tried to return it to the store, and then her mother was like, don't start your marriage by returning all of the soup. And purchased all of the soup she had returned. And they told it like a fun, chill story about, yeah.
That's a bit strange.
30 seconds, Sam.
Oh my gosh, that was funny. I couldn't stop laughing. I'm so sorry.
No, I love your point about reading on soup, though. That I'm going to think about that a lot. That makes me very happy.
15 seconds, Sam.
Oh, I was just bringing that tradition and nostalgia in, but I did learn to read on that, and I want to say it was spice labels.
Oh, yeah. I feel like toothpaste tubes also a good source of reading material.
Well, yeah, but who can forget the back of the shampoo bottle? I mean, really.
Oh,
So,
classic.
Wait, did you guys not hear me?
I'm not a fan of all soup.
Remember
my dad told me a story about being really
I
poor
can hear you,
growing up.
Dennis.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can hear you.
Can't
One
hear
time,
me.
what
I don't know what.
You pour mustard into water and you heat it up. I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound like fun.
man.
I'm like,
Hey, can
should
you
have
guys hear
gotten
me?
Something else.
Yeah, we can now.
I had the whole thing running the whole time. All right.
You lost Alex.
No, wait. No, we're all here. I don't know why this keeps disconnecting for me. So it's Sam's turn. Let me just kind of read.
What was my score? It cut off.
Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't hear it either.
So it's Alexandra lost 3 points. Sam got 5
know.
points, and Bristol was flat 0.
Oh.
So Sam, it's now your turn. Here are your 90 seconds.
90 seconds. I don't even know if I need 90 seconds to point. It's just like, have I started? Are we ready?
Oh yeah, you've got.
Okay, I hear the timer. All right, let's
yeah.
do it. Well, I just want to say I think we've been lied to our whole lives. I don't know why. I don't know the reasons for it, but pepperoni is not the best pizza topping. It's not. You see it in cartoons and on advertisements. Every time you see a picture of a pizza or a pizza slice or an emoji, it's pepperoni, and it doesn't have to be. Pepperoni is an overrated topping. And everybody, I think people, when they call to order pizza, they get scared, maybe nervous on the phone, and they just blurt out the pops in their head, it's pepperoni. And it doesn't have to be that way. There's so many other better toppings than pepperoni. Pepperoni really isn't all that great. And he tells you otherwise, really doesn't know that much about pizza. You're almost better off just eating cheese pizza than a pepperoni pizza. Is that it? Am I done? Okay.
No, you still have about 30 seconds.
I got 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Look, I really don't need any more time. I mean, just, why did pepperoni get so popular? Why is pepperoni? Oh, I gotta have a pepperoni. You don't eat pepperoni on anything else. Maybe an occasional sandwich, but even then, no, you're not. No one's eating pepperoni except on pizza. What does that tell you about pepperoni? It's just okay. It's not the best. You're better off with sausage or maybe chicken. I don't know, bacon. You can try anything else on a pizza besides pepperoni. Pepperoni's overrated.
All right, Bristol, you have a challenge.
You know, I agree with you, Sam. You're such a likable guy, but when it comes to pepperoni, I feel as if you're all wrong. I mean, how can you go wrong with baked meat? And I will tell you, I am currently doing the keto diet. Whoop whoop. And when I have pepperoni, it puts me instantly in ketosis. It's just amazing. And who can deny the allure of a pepperoni pineapple slice? I mean, the savory with that melty cheese, you can't go wrong. Done.
Okay, cool. Another 5 seconds or so.
Okay.
All right, Alexandra, your turn.
Oh man, I think you're pepperoni. A, pepperoni is good on its own. B, your contention that just cheese is better, I think absolutely not. Then when you just started listing other, I feared that at any moment you were going to say something like pineapple. I mean, in this land of chaos and anarchy to which you usher us, when you refuse to admit pepperoni, say what you will about it, it's a simple, safe choice. It's the choice that occurs to everyone for a reason, because people can agree on it. This country was built on change for the better, and pepperoni is the incremental change for the better from a plain cheese pizza. You want a topping? Not everyone agrees on sausage, and some monsters will say pineapple, but pepperoni saves the day. That ketosis, that wonderful tube, it's got it all.
All right, Sam, you have 45 seconds to rebut arguments.
Okay, I'm not sure if talking about long tube meat on a show called Master Debaters is a family-friendly, if it's wholesome or not. But, you know, here's the thing. Nobody in America is forgetting pepperoni on their grocery list and being like, oh, honey, we forgot the pepperoni. Oh, get pepperoni at the store. Nobody's out in a rush to get pepperoni. Even when everybody's buying up all the stuff during the shutdowns, toilet paper, name it, there was tons of pepperoni. They didn't sell that much pepperoni. Pepperoni's not that great. Pepperoni's overrated. It's okay. I'm not saying it's bad. It's okay, but like it's not the best pizza topping. Almost everything else is better on pizza. Pepperoni's. It's just, man, we've been sold a bill of goods. It's not that good. It's overrated.
Okay, so Alex, our Long Island native, what do you think of arguments presented here?
Sam.
See, you've all been fooled by pepperoni.
I had such great hopes for you, but when you do denigrate pepperoni, there's a reason why it's never bought in the store. It's a out thing. I'm getting this from this pizza place. I'm getting this from the sandwich store. I'm not going to buy pepperoni for myself. It's a treat. It's something that you reward yourself with from an outside place.
You feel bad for it.
I understand why people. I am gonna have to say your argument was passionate, though. Your argument was passionate, and I have to give points for a passionate argument. So I am going to say 5 points.
All right. What about his challengers?
His challengers. Bristol had me until you put the pineapple on it. Once you put the pineapple on it, you might as well be a serial killer. Not to say that Ted Cruz is a serial killer, but I'm sure Ted Cruz puts pineapple on his pizza. I am gonna have to take away 3 points.
All right. What about Sandra?
Well, you're still in
Alexandra came to the defense of the pepperoni, and I feel bad by awarding her negative points in the last round against the soup. But because her argument was passionate, I'm gonna give her 11 points.
All right. Well, will win. Well, it comes down to one final fight. This is Master Debaters from KTSA.
If I may, real
From 550 KTSA and FM 1071, this is Debaters, the show where the best argument wins.
Oh, and the argument ends right here, right now. It's a battle this week between Bristol from 93.7 in Shreveport, Sam I Am from 102.7 Jack FM in San Antonio, and Washington Post columnist Alexandra Petri, who are trying to convince Alex that their argument is the best argument. But right now, it comes down to one final fight. This closing arguments.
Closing arguments on Master Debaters.
This is where it all gets decided in a final fight. I will present a topic, and our 3 contestants will hash it out amongst themselves for a whole 5 minutes. No more, no less. At the sound, our judge will give each combatant up to 100 points or take away up to 100 points, depending on their mood. The person with the fewest points will get a 50-second head start. Everyone else will join in after that bell has rung. And right now, the person with the fewest points is Alexandra. The topic. The new cast of Dancing with the Stars has been announced.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
In the Netflix docu Tiger King, she's portrayed as a big cat rescuer who may or may not have murdered her husband. And now Carole Baskin will be dancing for the Mirror Ball Trophy this season on Dancing with the Stars. Joining her, cheer coach Monica Aldama, along with Backstreet Boy AJ McLean, former NFL star Vernon Davis, actress Anne Heche, One Day at a Shadow, rapper Nelly, Olympic figure skater Johnny Weir, and more. The new season starts Monday, September 14th. Jason Nathanson, ABC News.
Guest or contestant on that show are you most interested in watching on Dancing with the Stars this season? Alexandra, you start, which starts now.
I guess I'm most interested in watching but I have to say, Carole Baskin should not be on Dancing with the Stars until we've sorted out. I feel like we should at least definitely know if somebody's dead at your hand or not. I think the lesson of Tiger King is that we don't know what's going on and I think we ought to know a little bit more. I feel like the Masked Singer might be a better venue for her because you don't know who's going to be there. She could come out as a big cat. It'll be an advocacy thing. And the audience won't feel implicated in the decision to watch her going around until afterwards because they'll be judging her by her words. It'll be sort of a death of the arts fun concept instead of having to watch her knowing that we don't know. So I feel like I'm nervous about that. And if I wanted to watch something more complicated that involved Carole Baskin, I have Tiger King already. I can do that. Again, which I did already earlier during quarantine. Also think, but going on with the Stars, where's Tom Bergeron? I would like to watch him. Just him describing all the people who could have been on, but they decided they wouldn't pick. And then the dancing cast, they can dance and do a good professional job. I feel like the stars are the least necessary component of the Stars.
Well, I'll be with you, Sam. We've always said when the new cast came out, it's Dancing with the quote stars. Really? Now, I do know that the favorites this season are AJ McLean and Johnny Weir. However, I will admit that I watched the show for the long shots. The NBA star, Charles Oakley, that's going to be in there, the guy from Catfish, and Carole Baskin. Now, I'll tell you, it annoys that she's on the show. But as we've learned and we've heard from some pretty famous broadcasters that sometimes people will watch or listen as much for not liking you as they do for liking you. And let's face it, we're all waiting to see if Carole Baskin is gonna kill it.
Ooh. It's great. I like the lineup. I think Carole Baskin's a great addition. I think I personally love the chaos. I like seeing the outrage and everyone getting fired up over it. That's just genius because that's just going to make more people watch it. I get it. But, where do you draw the line? Is next season, do they have OJ on? I don't know. It's kind of fun. But I don't think it's quite fair to everyone on there. They kind of do like the American Idol thing where they have the really bad there so you can laugh at them. I remember seeing some seasons of Dancing with the Stars, where they had Lamar Odom, he was terrible. But then you have your polarizing figures like Sean Spicer last year. Some people love him, some people hate him. He was terrible, but he made it almost to the end.
And can we address in the room that we're really not supposed to have professional dancers on the show?
But that's what you have with AJ McLean. That's all he's done.
Exactly.
Professional dancer.
Yeah.
But they had the same thing with Joey Fatone from NSYNC who was on there, but he didn't win. But
he did well.
Also see a lot of the professional athletes who do well. He did well. But then the figure skater, he's gonna. Oh, he's going to be amazing.
It's going to be a cat fight between Carole Baskin and the Catfish guy.
Sure. I like it.
Yeah,
give her points for that.
No, but I think going back to this, though, I feel like things like this, when you go back to American Idol where they had Sanjaya and everyone would say, vote for the word, and vote for the worst began to be a thing that was just a concept that got more and more normalized until, I'm not going to mention any recent elections, but 2016. And so this idea that let's keep voting and just see what happens if we keep this unacceptable alternative in for as long as we possibly can. And I wonder if maybe Dancing with the Stars is where we can finally take a stand as a culture and say, you know what, let's relax our rule. Let's have people who can move, but let's relax our rule when it comes to figures who have contributed to maybe murder or other bad things like the degrading of the office of the press secretary. Just have a good old stand, an old-fashioned.
Sure.
And I love the fact that you have a stand on that. And, we're looking at people that are polarizing figures, too, trying to grasp on to that final 15 minutes of fame, as we see with the Bachelor and Bachelorette contestants. And you get the ones that truly 100% deserve to be there and capture the country's heart. And, you're gonna have to help me here. But does everybody remember the one contestant that had to have a prosthetic leg? She was incredible.
I get it. Where do you draw the line? Like I said, with Carol Baskin, and what do you have, OJ next season? But I think they should add another element to it. Will Carol Baskin's dance partner make it to the end of the season? That would be more fun.
Is up.
See, what if we're joking about an actual person's life? That would be horrible. See, I don't anyway.
But she took a life, and she's, so again, where do you draw the line?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Unless he's alive, which I'm hoping he is, because then
All right, time's up. So 5 minutes. Alex, what's your assessment on the whole thing? Points from -100 to 100. What are you giving everyone?
Oh my goodness, this is tough. This is tough because everyone was very persuasive here, and to be fair, we have gotten to the point where we have to really define what a star is. Dancing with the Stars. I'm just looking down at the list. Very hard to find here. I will award 65 points to Sam, 75 points to Alexandra, and 70 points to Bristol.
Right. Well, after minutes of heated discussion about the most controversial topics in the land going on, the time has come to name this week's Master Debater. In third place, with 117 points, Sam. In second place, with 125 points, Alexandra. And in first place, with 130 points, this week's Master Debater is Bristol. Congratulations, seconds to celebrate being a Master Debater starts now.
Second,
so proud to be a masturbator. This is so amazing. And then when you find out you're the original masturbator, it's like being the original American Idol. I feel like Kelly Clarkson right now. And I cannot thank you for this enough. Thank you for this honor.
Well, I thought I was a little better at master debating, but apparently not. I need to work on my game. So I might have to get on that pretty soon.
You still have 30 seconds, Bristol, to celebrate.
Well, I was giving...
Oh, no, I mean, maybe I should take some time to go to the store and get myself some tube pepperoni and, sit and have some soup and think about my life in general.
You should. You should. You know what? I'll meet you at the Olive Garden, okay?
You got it.
And I'll join you remotely.
Well, that's it. A big thank you to our 3 contestants. Catch her every weekday morning on Kiss Country 93.7 in Shreveport. Sam I Am, who you can catch on and around 102.7 Jack FM in San Antonio. And Alexandra Collins' postings and videos can all be found in the Washington Post and WashingtonPost.com. And a big thanks to our judge this week, Alex from Long Island, New York. Master Debaters is a production of XS Studios and KTSA San Antonio. Learn more about Master Debaters online at ktsa.com/masterdebaters. I'm Master Debaters, the show where the best argument wins.
San Antonio's home for news and talk. On air, online, and on demand. 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Oh my gosh.